nothing in focus? What's that? Alright. Trying a different vlog camera. Don't know if I like it. I've used this camera before, but there was something about it that I didn't like, and I don't remember what it was. Like, it's better for pictures. Like, it doesn't translate into my editing software very well. And I think that, like, the motion and the sharpness, like, is kind of, like, nauseating. Anyways, hey, what's up, garden friends? Starting things off from the car again. I actually haven't done that in a while. Back here at Sears, not back here, I haven't been here. I thought they were out of business, but Father's Day is in a couple of days, so I'm going to hop in here and see what they have. I already have something planned, but they're like going out of business, so I thought let's check it out and see what's in there, if there's anything in there. I don't know. I thought this store closed years ago, but apparently it's still open. I thought they were closed because last time I was in there was like nothing in the store. So here we are like 4 years later, and apparently they were still open this whole time. I don't know. See there? Store closing. Did I mention that it's 11 a.m. and 92 degrees already? Gonna be a fun day. Hey, that's a really good deal, but cracked. Ooh, I see something I want. Sun Dolphin. What a cute name. Oh. Like, that's not bad. It could be cheaper, but that's not too bad. Whew, cranking up that AC. Yeah, the prices in there weren't that great. And I haven't been to Sears in a long time. But yeah, I don't remember them being so expensive. There's that clearance table that was all cracked up. That was kind of nice, but I was just like, I don't know. Look at these poor crab apples. It's just bad winter and bad spring. Because it warmed up and things broke dormancy, and then it went, just kidding, it's gonna be winter again, and it, like, everything froze. I lost a few plants that way. My Rose of Sharon, my Japanese maple. That's confusing. All right, breaking rules here. There we go. This whole mall, unfortunately, to my knowledge, maybe not the whole mall, but it's pretty much vacant. I know, like, this nice little area right there that you can see that stuff, the theater and the Cheesecake Factory, that's still up and going. Some outlet malls down in the little valley area that I vlog in fairly often. And yeah, those outlet malls just ran this mall right out of business. So that's a shame. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I think that, like, that portion, though, like I said, is staying there. What I want to know is when they come to tear down the other parts or do whatever they're going to do, what are they going to do with all the big mall plants, the big palm trees and things? I want them. I'll take them. I mean, not really. I don't know what I would do with them because they're like 30 feet tall, but it's fun to think about things like that. Okay, on to Starbucks. And I need picture frames. So maybe Michael's and Target? I don't know.
What can we get started for you?
Time for a coffee party. Did it sound like I just said potty? Okay, well, I looked online at Target's picture frames. I had these prints mounted to a 16 by 20 with matting. Because I went to Michael's. It was like nearly $200 a picture to have them actually custom framed. So I was like, let's mat these to a size that works. This may have been in one of my previous vlogs. I don't know. But either way, now I need to actually go get frames. Target, it didn't look like they had anything. They have to be cherry, or at least a cherry finish, because they're going to his office and everything there's cherry. So I guess I'll go to Michael's, but I've already been to the Michael's out here, so I'm going to go to a different one. So they don't always have the same selection, I've noticed. The one that's down here where I usually go doesn't have the same things that the other one does, so that was a fun story. I also think I'm finally going to bite the bullet and just get a car wash. It's not going to rain. We had some storms, and it didn't do anything. It rained for like 30 seconds, so just got to clean the car. All right, car wash time. If I can get out of my parking spot. It looks like my headlights are on, but they're not. I mean, clearly they are, but they're... I don't understand what that's all about. The daylight lights are on. This spot is like really tight and there's people everywhere. I need to focus. Hold on. This is a little bit congested today. Everybody's at the gas station. Okay, so like I was saying, it just, you know, we're not getting rain. I don't know what it's about. There's heat storms that we've been having pop up. It's not significant, so everything's just dusty and nasty. So like I said, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and get the car washed, and then from here on for the rest of the month I'll wash it by hand. This is the fancy car wash. Okay, well. Oh, who doesn't love a pretty car wash? I'm probably going to need to speed this up. We go, squeaky clean. Changing subjects already. See the clouds up there? That's good. Maybe we'll get some rain. In this car wash, if it rains, there's like a 5-day guarantee. Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to get out of here. There we go. Made it. Oh, almost. If it rains the next 5 days, you get another wash for free. So I saved that receipt. Now I'm going to the other Michael's and looking for picture frames and my squeaky clean ride. Well, Michael's did not have the frames. They had good frames. The problem is they had 5 and they didn't really match. They were all supposedly the same, but they didn't look the same to me. And even if they did look the same, 3 of the 5 had scratches on them. So it was like, okay, gotta come up with plan B here, which is at home. I kind of was interested in popping in here anyways because if you remember last week's vlog, the very end, there was a storm and like a couple plants got blown over, and I was like, no big deal, the pot didn't break. Well, right behind the big palm tree that blew over was an oleander that I put in a really pretty blue pot that had this coral on the sides. It was actually in a video not too long ago. I don't remember what the name of it was. It was like Coral Reef Planters or something like that. It was beautiful pots that I got from here last fall. Well, okay, rambling too much. That big pot broke, and it's like one of my favorite pots. So I was kind of interested in popping in anyways, just to see if maybe they still have one. And I feel like they have a lot of frames here, but to be completely honest, this is not a place I enjoy being because there's just too much. It's overwhelming. So I'm gonna try and get in and out as fast as I can. Oh my goodness, look how big this cart is. He literally just bought this exact thing at Michael's, but in orange for $12.99. May not be exactly the same. Still. Oh, I forgot I needed some more of these. I hope they have them elsewhere in colors that aren't hot pink. Ooh, you're kind of cool. I don't know about that. Oh, hey, this is pretty neat. Look at that. That's cool. I don't think this goes with anything I have, but it's really pretty. At $19.99? $19.99, that's not that bad for a pot that size. Ooh. Oh, and they have a smaller one with... This is cute. No price. This one's free. I'll at least put you over here next to your friend. Oh, $14.99. Oh, these are neat too. I don't need those though. They're really cool. Guys, I really want those pots. Not today. Oh, look at the little turtle. I just want to stick a succulent in there. Cute. Ooh. Oh, she's broken. Actually, I don't know about that, but it's still cool. Okay, so I've always wanted one of these, but look at how expensive they are. It's so fun and magical. Hey. Oh my gosh. These are like kind of ugly, but I love them. $50. Buy. I'm kind of obsessed with this. So much color. You've got to be freaking kidding me. You see this? That's why I said this place is overwhelming. What a disaster. I mean, come on. Jeez. Okay, at home, y'all should be embarrassed. Okay, well it's not cherry, but I feel like it's close enough. But, they only have one. And there's no way I'm digging through that mess in the other aisle. Not happening. No picture frames. Or I guess they had a lot of picture frames, just, you were there, you saw what happened. So, I know cherry's not that popular, but everything else in his office is cherry. So, I guess it just is what it is. I don't want to have to order it online, because you can't really tell in pictures the quality or what they look like, but I may not have a choice here. I've tried Walmart, Target, Michael's, at home. There is Hobby Lobby, but I don't shop there, so that's not an option. I don't know. I guess I'll just have to keep thinking on that one. At least I got the cooler to give him for Father's Day, so that's good. This is the same path as last week, but looking a little bit different. Got lots of new plants growing on the ground. That's fun. I still don't understand the point of this thing, but it's a nice break on the ankles, so I'm okay with it. On a new path, and it's really nice. Really nice. Kind of can see the lake. Whew. That's all. Look at how beautiful the sky is right now. This doesn't flow at all with the vlog, but I'm throwing it in there because who doesn't like looking at nice picturesque skies? Beautiful. Alright, I know it doesn't look like much. It's raining. Why am I zoomed in so far? What was that about? It's raining a lot. I'm underneath trees, so that's pretty. Oh, the palm tree's getting nice and wet. Yeah, I think I might need to clean my gutters. Also, that's probably not safe. None of those are plugged in. Okay, alright, that was lighting. Time for breakfast. The refrigerator repair people came, so eating outside today. Nothing makes a lad happier than some food. He had a hot spot on his butt, but it's okay. We've been treating it, and it's much better now. Okay, there's something really cool on the other side of this palm frond. It might gross some of you out. I don't know. It's a type of fungus, but it's cool. You see that? Ew. I got my refrigerator fixed. No, just a second ago I was talking about fungus, but this just happened. Finally. It's squeaky clean. I have water. I have baking soda. And I have my little toner. Spray this on my face. Keep it in the fridge. Keeps it nice and cool. And when it gets hot outside, I come in, rinse my face off, and get a spritz of that. Always feels nice. I know. The door's open. Goodness. Hey, Pumpkin. What are you doing? Okay, I gotta go outside and talk about fungus, Pumpkin. Okay, let's get back to talking about fungus. This time is kind of important here. They're already starting to drop from when I just saw them like an hour ago. So these are called Stinkhorns, devil stinkhorns. They have other names. They're a pretty neat fungus though. One of these popped up, I want to say several weeks ago. I was going to do a video on it, but then I learned they are very, very, very short-lived. At least the above ground portion. So these guys right here, they're hyphae, which is like the branching parts that comes off the mycelium, can live underneath the soil for a long time. But these parts you see up here, above the ground, they don't live so long. They can grow inches a day, and then they generally only live for a day or two. Now, they're called the stinkhorns because, well, they're stinky, and they don't like to focus on camera. Well, it doesn't really want to show on here, but there's kind of a slimy substance that covers the tops of these guys, and that's where their spores are, and these attract bugs that smells like a decaying carcass. I've been smelling something out here for a few days, and I was like, is it a dead fish? Maybe a fish jumped out of my pond, and then dog poop. I couldn't figure out what it was And I realized, oh, it's these guys. I saw these guys popping up over here. These aren't the reddest ones I've seen. Sometimes they're much, much, much more red, and there's different types of stinkhorns. There's one that looks like an octopus, and it's really cool. There aren't any fungicides you can use to get rid of them. They just kind of are what they are. The spores arrive in mulch and whatnot, which is probably where mine came from, because they're only popping up in places where I put down the fresh mulch, or fresh mulch, I should say. And yeah, like I said, they're kind of stinky. I don't know, I just thought they're kind of cool. Oh, and they're not a toxic mushroom or fungus, but that doesn't mean you should eat it. So it's something I'm not really too terribly concerned about. I just find fungus to be kind of fascinating. So a couple days ago, none of this was here. There's some here. I can see some old broken ones over there. A whole patch of them over there. I mean, these guys are probably just going to take over. Probably the best way to control this would have been to have noticed them earlier and then cut their little heads off so they don't have those slimy spores for insects to spread around. Not seeing any insects on them right now, that's probably a good thing. Fungus kind of fascinate me. I could talk about those guys for a long time, but I'm not going to, at least not in this video. Maybe a separate video. Maybe I'll dig them up and we can take them apart. That might be kind of neat. But there's something I mentioned about these guys that's kind of foreshadowing what I'm about to say. And in previous clips, you saw some rain. And in clips prior to that, I was talking about how it hasn't rained in a very long time, not significantly. Well, it's been raining off and on for about 3 days straight now, which is fantastic. The garden is really appreciating it. But it does kind of pose a problem for vlogging. Garden vlogging, that is. The ground's too wet. I have clay. I've amended it heavily over the years, but there's still clay down in there. And I don't like to dig holes when the ground's saturated, because you end up kind of making like a pot that doesn't drain that well. You can score it, add gypsum. It just doesn't really make sense to do that. I'm not going to do that right now. So I can't do any planting right now. Also, it's Friday. Vlog comes out tomorrow. And I also don't really like to fertilize when the ground's saturated, because it's kind of pointless. Things need a few days to dry out. Oh, hey, there's a surprise, off subject, but Voodoo Lily coming up there. This guy didn't come up for me last year. I was really concerned. I've had that for several years. I haven't noticed it flowering. This whole garden has shifted and plants kind of moved themselves a little bit. But look that's a really, really big one. I'm not going back there right now, but it's pretty big. But I'm not, yeah. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. So I can't fertilize. I discussed fertilizing in last week's video. There's just no reason to do it when the ground's saturated. And it's supposed to keep raining for a few days, so there's really nothing I can do about that, and I'm happy. We need the rain. I can water all I want to. Rain makes the biggest difference, though. And it's nice and cool. It's like 75 degrees today. It's absolutely beautiful. It'll be a great day for gardening, but there's more rain on the way, which I'm happy about. But like I said, it limits what I can really do in this vlog. And I need to get this edited and ready for it to upload tomorrow. I'm sorry. Always apologizing about something. I just don't see myself being able to really get anything garden related into this video. It's not going to happen. I think next week will be better. The weather's been weird and unpredictable because we weren't supposed to have rain this week, and then we got 3.5 days of it, which is great. Again, not complaining, but it makes it a little bit hard to plan. It's also supposed to be very hot next week, up into the triple digits. So I actually want to get a lot of the plants I have left to plant in the ground. They're going to do much better in the ground than in pots. I'm going to be moving some things to shade too. Because I'll show you over here, you know, like this creeping Jenny down here. Water it all I want to when it's 99 degrees outside and sunny. I mean, this poor thing just cooked last week. That's the way it's going to be. So there's some things that I need to move because that's a little bit warmer than I'm used to having around here. And that's not that big a deal. Scooting some things around where they won't get quite as much sun or not be like on the baking pavement. That's not always great. Now, I did finally get my palm fertilizer in the mail. This is the Espoma Palm Tone. My Adenidias need proper fertilizing. See, their leaves are crimped. There's some yellowing from some iron deficiencies, maybe even potassium, magnesium going on in there. They need some enrichment. So I'm going to, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to work it into the soil. These planters have really filled out, so I'm not going to be able to work that into the top. I need to get my snippies. Did I tell you guys I finally found my snippies? I do need to get in here and thin the sweet potato vine out because it's totally going to choke out this petunia. I'm going to work on that a little bit. It's probably about the only plant-related thing that's going to happen, though. As I was saying, though, I just need to get more nutrients into the soil for these Adonidia palms. And I do it for my mule palms, too. Unfortunately, though, I think I'm just going to have to scatter it and then use high pressure from my hose to help work that into the top layer of the soil a little bit. Not ideal. Fertilizer was supposed to be here a month ago. Not Espoma's fault. I didn't order it from them. But I would have ideally mixed that fertilizer in when I was planting everything else. But things don't always work out the way we want them to. And I certainly was not anticipating these plants growing this quickly. It's been about 6 weeks, and they're huge. Look at that. They're just gigantic. They'd be even bigger if my dogs didn't run around the pots to dry themselves off and tear the plants up. Get a closer look at those, though. The garden tour, which will be next week or the week after. Alright, now I know that doesn't look as pretty, but it'll be better for the petunias. I tried to cut as many individual leaves as I could and only take a few branch cuttings, because when you cut from the actual branch, from the stem, from in here, that's going to encourage more bushy growth, which is just going to keep on making them more full and bushy. And I really just need some light to get in here for these super petunias. I think this one, actually pretty much all of them I need to thin the sweet potatoes on, except for this one. This one the super petunias are doing more, and that's probably because this one gets the most sunlight. The light back here is kind of wonky. Oh, and here's that pot I was talking about. Yeah, it's a lot of pieces. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything for it, but I'm going to try. The issue, though, is that the adhesives you use for ceramics tend to poof out, so I just have to make sure, if I glue it back together, which I think I will, I'm at least going to try, I need to be ready with a wet rag to keep that stuff from sticking out the sides of the cracks. I don't know. I'll give that a try. We will see. Oh, and you know what? With these longer pieces from that sweet potato vine, the Apomia, I went ahead and... Why aren't you focusing? I went ahead and I removed some of the lower leaves, and I'm going to put them in my aquaponics. So for starters, I could work these into the filter, but I'm not going to, because I have another filter on the way, and it makes it so hard to clean these biofall, or whatever it's called, the waterfall filter, if there's plants growing in the top. I could maybe make a tray to set them in. Maybe I'll do that at some point. But yeah, for right now, I'm just sticking them down in there so that their stems hit the water. And those should take root and grow and clean things up. But I mean, koi also really love chewing on plants, so kind of a roll of the dice. We'll have to wait and see. But I mean, it can't hurt to try. And then I'll probably be doing the same thing with my pothos. I have some very large runners over here that I can cut up, pot up, throw in there. They will keep that water immaculate, at least as far as keeping the nitrate and phosphate down. They'll do a good job with that. As far as those cuttings are concerned with the fish and whatnot, I could use like a plant basket and fill it with gravel or something, help weight them down. I might do that, we will see. For now, I just wanted to get them into the water. Look at how awesome these Justicias are looking right now. These are Justicia carnea. They're just the regular variety. The one I did a video on a long time ago was, I believe the variety was called like bubblegum, maybe? And it had a darker pink flower to them. But they have such an awesome texture to them. I don't really even care what color the flowers are. In fact, I think I kind of like the more pale pink, as much as I like bright and obnoxiously vibrant colors. The softer colors are starting to grow on me too. They're more tranquil. They're not as loud. But these are looking great. These were a steal. These were with assorted annuals from one of my growers, so they were dirt cheap, and that's not typically how this plant goes, because the Justicia carnea is kind of a slow grower. They've got all kinds of nice looking buds on them too. They're not the smallest plants, so that's pretty cool. And there's the tag if you were wondering. It's usually spelled carnea, I thought, but that's what this says. Justica carnea. Whatever. That's what the tag says. That's what I'll go with. Just kidding. I had to look it up. No, they're just wrong. It's Justicia carnea, not Justica carnea. I was like, I've been wrong about this the whole time? I'm pretty sure it's Justicia carnea. That's what they are. They're very pretty. Lovely plants. They make a great house plant. Always something I suggest to people. But they are slower growers. And this shrimp plant's looking pretty good too. This is also with just the assorted 4-inch annuals, which is not something I would typically have as an annual. Not something I would typically find from the growers as an annual. Usually these would be houseplants or tropicals. And then things like the Diamond Frost Euphorbia, that would be an annual. I forgot to mention when I did that cactus and succulent haul from Drummond's Nursery. It wasn't really a haul, it was a few plants, but they had a whole bunch of these epidendrum orchids, and I picked this guy up, and it's really big. Like, it's a big, hefty plant. Excuse me. Yeah, it's kind of a better shot of that, but yeah. Really nice. Big plant. Oh. I'm sorry. I almost squished you. Yeah. It's like $15, which, I mean, these guys kind of grow like weeds, as they say, especially for an orchid, but still, it's like, hey, 15 bucks, and it's just your standard variety of the orange and the yellow flowers, but a nice big healthy plant that really needs some repotting. Look at all those roots though. Yeah, I thought that was a good find. It's really big, and I think it was getting a bit too much sun over there, so it'll do a little bit better over here next week when temperatures are in the triple digits. And the anthyrums, I need to move them too. They were starting to cook. I moved them over here to get a little bit more shade, but I think they could use a little bit more. So, and they're still happy, they're still flowering, but there's a couple, it's like 3 scorched leaves on them, which isn't terrible, but ideally there would be none. So when it gets up to 100 and over, they're definitely getting moved. And speaking of these anthyrums, somebody messaged me on some social media platform, I don't remember if it was Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, asking me questions about these guys, and I lost the message. I get a lot, which I appreciate, but sometimes they disappear, and I've been shoveling through trying to find them. I can't find it. I have a video on these guys, and I will release that soon. Oh wait, no. I already released it. It wasn't very popular. Didn't get very many views, but hopefully that video will answer the questions about this plant. I'm sorry to whoever that was who sent me the message. My apologies. And I'm starting to feel some raindrops, which is why I'm here under my umbrella now. So, wrapping it up. Hope everybody's enjoying summer. It's summer now, officially. Finally. My favorite time of year. And hopefully running errands and stuff with me wasn't too boring. Hope you had a good time. Never know what's going to happen in the vlogs, because it's just life. You never know what's going on. And again, I want to thank everybody for being so supportive. I really appreciate it. Life is kind of crazy sometimes, and this is one of my therapies. One of the things that calms me and brings me relief, and you all are a big part of that, so thank you again. And now the old classic YouTube thing, give a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It actually really does make a difference in the videos, so thank you. Subscribe down below, even though the thingy's up here, because I do upload multiple times a week. And I always link my social media stuff down in the description, so you can follow me, and I try and follow everybody back, except for there's a lot of like nail polish profiles following me on Instagram. I may stop following you guys back. You might need to message me first, because like my feed is just full of nail polish, and I'm not falling for it anymore. Also, please don't send me pictures of your butt. Somebody's been sending me pictures of their butt. I don't appreciate it. I don't need that. I have one. I know what they look like. But I guess it's all in good fun. Whatever. It's a good time. Be respectful to each other. Please. And ultimately, as always, above all else, I hope everybody's doing well. And as always, keep on growing.